42 things to draw. Next prompt number 8. Oh, before I do this, had this book for a while, and this is the first day I actually looked at the back of it. Yeah, I know that's weird. I didn't look at the back of this book, but there it is. Okay. Today's prompt, we only have one. And it's a full house. Like the show, or... Great, let's just start sketching some stuff out.
Woo, voiceover mode. So if in the first part of the video you hear sort of this buzzing sound in the background, that's my fan. My camera kind of picks that sound up, but it was really hot and I didn't want to turn it off, so yep. So since this was just one single prompt, I figured it might be the perfect time to do an isometric room, like I've been saying, finally. And since it was a full house, I thought maybe I could do this big house with a bunch of different like people or characters filling it and do a bunch of different rooms. So I drew out just a basic house with way too many people for some inspiration. But then as I thought about it more, I remembered that a full house is also like a poker term. I think it's like when you have 5 cards and then 3 of them are a match and then the other 2 are a different match. So like if you have 2 aces and like 3 5s, that's a full house. So then I thought, hey, if I do a poker thing, I could still do this isometric room, but make it sort of like a speakeasy. So like the room up top would just sort of be like a front or something for the speakeasy, or like it'll look like a real thing, but it's really just like a fake sort of thing. So you can't find the speakeasy as easily. So it'd be like a bar, and then people would be playing poker, so I could do the whole full house sort of thing. I also added like a little stage and of course a podium, because you have to check in to get your ID taken, because it's a fake speakeasy. And then I was trying to figure out what the shop up top would be, and I just drew this adorable, innocent-looking little old woman, and it's her yarn shop, and she's knitting. And I kind of went with this idea, but I had to make it a little more interesting. So I made it into this, like, mob front, basically. So I still have this adorable little old woman sitting up top, just knitting away at her scarves. This is her scarf and yarn shop. And she's kind of hiding the mobsters. Maybe, in my mind, one of them's her son. And she's just, trying to protect him. He's just playing with his buddies in the basement and doesn't want anyone to know. And that's pretty much all she knows. But it's kind of precious. And so, yeah, I wanted to make the basement a little bit more interesting. So that's why I have this giant, like, mermaid and bird, because you can't just have some crazy creatures. You have to have the biggest ones, if you're a mobster, of course. I don't know. That's what I went with. And then I just have a couple people playing poker. And, yeah, I kept all of the sketching and line art off camera because it took a really long time, and I knew the coloring would take a long time, and I don't want you guys to have to spend your entire day just watching this video and this prompt. So, you're welcome. But yeah, I'm also using watercolor paper again with these watercolor colored pencils because I'm just really enjoying them. The pencils, I mean, not this paper. I need to get a new paper because this is just, it pills, and it shouldn't, because it should work with water, but it doesn't. But that's a topic for a different video. And yes, it is kind of hard to see some of the details of this picture while I'm coloring it because the pencils really show a lot of the texture, but once I add water, it looks a lot smoother, and I prefer it. I promise it gets better. It's just me laying color down right now. But yeah, some more background story to this. So my thought is that this mob or mafia front, this is their like hangout or headquarters. And of course, the walls have to be red because, if something bad happens, like a murder or something, it's easier to clean up all the blood. Same with like the dark purplish carpet, just easier to clean up after and hide whatever has happened in this hangout. And these 6 people playing poker, there's one guy, this is a head guy. He has his right-hand man, and of course his leading lady with him, and then 2 of his other like main people, and they've invited this other guy to play poker. And this guy's just gotten a full house, and he's won the poker hand, which means he's won all of everyone else's chips. So he thinks he's winning all this money, but as you'll be able to see a little bit closer later, the bartender, he has a picture of one of the guys, and he's crossing it out with an X. Yeah, the guy that just won, he's been set up. He thinks he's just playing a poker game, but no. He's not just at some illegal poker game. He's gonna be murdered. They decided to set him up that he's gonna win this big hand, and he's gonna be all excited, and, well, then they're gonna kill him. And the 2 characters that are closest to the edge, yeah, I gave them each some kind of a knife, so the one has just like a dagger sort of thing, and the other one has a box cutter, because I thought that was kind of funny that he'd use box cutter. I don't know. That's what I went with. And I think my extra secret to this piece, because I just thought it was a little bit funnier, the bartender, he's the real head of this mafia group. And he just wants to pose as a bartender, and all of these other people, they're just his lackeys, doing his work for him. And I just thought that was kind of an interesting twist. I don't know. That's what I went with. So now on to adding in the water. This is my favorite part because all of the colors in this they pop out more and they look a lot bolder and stronger, so I like it. And I think it also makes it easier to sort of see what's going on in this piece, so it doesn't just look sort of like textured colored in. And of course I had to start at the top because, you know, I don't want to forget about this sweet old lady. She's also she's so precious. And I want to keep her very, very innocent of a character, that this is just her yarn shop, and, you know, her son, whoever he is making sure that she's well taken care of so she can just knit and sell her yarn. So he helps pay some of the bills and keeps her very, very happy. And all she has to do is make sure no one bothers him and his friends in the basement. So this is, of course, why under the counter she has an extra set of keys, because she keeps the door to the basement locked. And she has a gun just in case, you know. Sometimes there are bad people after her son. She just wants to protect him. So yeah, I just like keeping her a very innocent, sweet old lady that doesn't really know that there's a mob in her basement. I think it's cute. I also just really like how I drew this mermaid sort of thing. I wanted to make it look very bored and tired and maybe not in the best of health, because it just made the piece a little more interesting, I think. That cage is also, tank. If it were in cage, all the water would spill out. That tank, I wanted to make it look way too small for her too, because she needs more space than she has, and so that's why she's all sad. And yeah, this giant bird is definitely one of the leaders. It's his pet, and he can also use it with a special call or something to murder people if he wants. I don't know. That was my thought, but I haven't decided whose bird this is yet. I haven't picked. So you can decide whoever's bird you want it to be. And yeah, if you haven't thought about it by now, that man in the blue, yeah, he's the one who just won. He's about to have a very, very bad day after this very exciting win at this poker game. I really like once this color's added into the walls and the carpet, because I feel like everything just pops out more. It's just fun to compare it to the top that's already done and the bottom. It's just exciting to see what it will turn into. I just really like these colored pencils, so I'm going to keep talking about them. I should really do a review video on those soon. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what else to say about this prompt. I'm almost done with coloring. But I really like this one. This is one of my favorites. I like finally doing an isometric room and sort of having the double room style, and I feel like all the little extra details just make it a little more fun. The only complaint I really have is with the paper that decided to not look great. But yeah, here's the final prompt. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It means a lot to me. If you have any comments or thoughts on this video, leave them down below. Like the video if you liked it. Don't like it if you didn't, I guess. Subscribe if you haven't so you can keep up with this prompt series, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye. Do you want to see more shenanigans? Then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Oh, you want to see more shenanigans like right now? Then check out these suggestions on your screen or head on over to my Instagram. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Check back soon for some more shenanigans. Bye.